She walked in like she owned the place and pointed straight at me. The post office went quiet. You could hear the ceiling fan spinning. Karen, sharp suit, clipboard in hand, lips pressed tight, stood at the counter, glaring. "I'm from the HOA," she said loudly, waving a stack of papers. "From now on, all mail for Oak Ridge residents comes to me. I'll decide what gets delivered." I looked up from sorting packages. "Ma'am, that's not how mail works," I said calmly. She leaned forward. "Oh, it will now. You people don't understand how a community runs. I've already sent a notice to your supervisor." People in line started watching. A veteran with a cane frowned. A young mom held her child close. Karen's voice kept rising. "I know who owns what here. And this post office falls under our authority." I tried to stay professional, but inside, something twisted. She had no right. "Ma'am," I said, steady, "this is federal property. HOA rules stop at your mailbox." She smirked. "Then maybe I'll have your job for saying that." She took out her phone and started recording, shouting. "This man is refusing to cooperate with the HOA. I want him removed." The veteran in line muttered, "Lady, this isn't your playground." Karen turned, eyes sharp. "Excuse me. I'll report you too." The tension snapped. I picked up the phone behind the counter and said quietly, "I think you'd better stay right here, ma'am. I'm calling the postal inspector." Her smile faltered. "You wouldn't dare." I pressed the button. "Watch me." The room fell silent again. Everyone stared. And that's when the radio on my belt crackled, "We're on our way." Karen's face drained of color. She didn't know what was coming next. Two black SUVs pulled up outside, tires crunching on the gravel. Through the glass doors, Karen saw the gold federal seal on the side, U.S. Postal Inspection Service. Her confidence flickered, but she straightened up fast and crossed her arms. "Good," she said, pretending calm. "Maybe now someone will finally make you people listen." The lead inspector, Agent Rivera, stepped inside. Calm but sharp-eyed, he flashed his badge. "Ma'am, you reported an incident." Karen nodded quickly. "Yes. That man," she pointed at me, "refused to follow HOA orders. He's withholding community mail. That's a federal offense." Rivera raised an eyebrow. "HOA orders?" He looked at me. "You the postmaster here?" I nodded. "Yes, sir. Been here 12 years. Karen interrupted, "Well, I'm the president of Oak Ridge HOA. We manage this entire neighborhood. All their mail should come to me first for approval. It's our right." A quiet chuckle slipped from someone in line. The veteran whispered, "She's out of her mind." Rivera didn't laugh. He took out a small recorder. "Ma'am, are you saying you've been intercepting or demanding private mail?" Karen frowned. "I'm saying I should be allowed to. These people don't follow the HOA rules. We can't have unsanctioned deliveries." Karen's heels clicked sharply on the pavement as she led the inspectors outside. Her words tumbled fast, desperate now. "This is just a misunderstanding. Those letters were community records. Nothing illegal." Rivera stayed silent, letting her talk herself into a corner. The veteran and a few locals had followed. Standing at the edge of the lot, watching like it was a live show. I stepped out behind them, arms crossed, trying not to smirk. Karen popped open the trunk. The air filled with the smell of paper and cheap perfume. Inside, boxes stacked tight, each labeled with addresses from Oak Ridge. Dozens of unopened envelopes. Bills, checks, legal letters, all stolen. Rivera's partner, Agent Lee, began snapping photos. "You've got about 3 months' worth here," he said flatly. "This isn't a misunderstanding." Karen's face went pale. "You don't understand. These people didn't deserve those letters. They broke HOA codes, they painted their doors blue. They parked trucks on driveways, it's chaos." Rivera tilted his head. "So you decided to withhold their mail? You made yourself judge and jury. She stammered. I was just keeping order. I stepped closer. No, you were keeping control. Her eyes flicked to me, burning with hate. You think you're some hero? You're just a male clerk. Rivera looked between us, curious now. Actually, he said slowly, he's not just that. He turned to me. You still working your reserve status? Karen blinked. Reserve? What does that mean? I met her stare. Army Reserve. Logistics and communications. You tried to bully a federal employee and a veteran. Her lips parted, speechless for once. The small crowd started whispering. Someone pulled out their phone, recording. Karen tried to recover. Fine. Fine. I'll return the letters. No need to make this dramatic. Rivera crossed his arms. It's already dramatic. And it's a federal case now. Lee stepped forward with a Ziploc bag. Ma'am, hand over your phone. Karen clutched it tighter. You can't take that. I have important contacts. Rivera said quietly. You should have thought of that before impersonating federal authority. Karen's hands trembled. Impersonating? I never said. Rivera pointed to a folder in her passenger seat. It had a fake seal, an imitation of the Postal Service logo, with authorized HOA mail oversight printed across it. The crowd gasped. Karen whispered, barely audible, that wasn't supposed to get noticed. Rivera nodded once. Yeah, well. It just did. Rivera opened the fake sealed folder, flipping through the papers slowly. Each sheet was a record, names, addresses, violations, and handwritten notes in red ink. But what made him stop were the signatures at the bottom. Karen's weren't the only ones there. Looks like you weren't acting alone, Rivera said quietly. You've got 3 board members signing off on this. HOA Vice President, Treasurer, and the mayor's assistant. Karen's mouth fell open. I was told it was approved. They said it was part of a new community safety program. Rivera's tone hardened. They used you. But you still committed a federal crime. Karen shook her head fast, panic setting in. No, they said it was legal, they said the post office was too slow. I spoke up. Karen, you didn't just cross a line. You burned the whole fence down. For the first time, she stopped fighting. Her shoulders dropped. I was just trying to keep things perfect, she whispered. Rivera nodded to Agent Lee. Cuff her. The crowd stayed silent as the metal clicked around her wrists. A few people started recording again, capturing every second. Karen looked around, but nobody spoke for her. The same people she'd bossed around for years now stood watching her fall apart. As she was led toward the SUV, she turned to me. You don't understand. This neighborhood needs control. I looked her in the eye. What it needs, I said quietly, is freedom. The door shut. The SUVs rolled away, their blue lights flashing against the post office windows. The veteran patted my shoulder. You handled that right, son. I nodded. It's just mail, I said softly. Though we both knew it wasn't. It was bigger than that, it was about people. Thinking they own what they don't. And others forgetting how to stand up for what's right. Later that week, news broke. 3 HOA officials were under federal investigation for mail fraud and impersonation of postal authority. The mayor's office released a statement calling it a rogue operation. And as for Karen, she never showed her face in Oak Ridge again. Every morning now, I unlock that post office door, take a deep breath, and smile when I see those mailboxes lined up. Each one belonging to someone free to live their life without permission slips. Because in this country, your mail, your home, and your freedom, they're all part of the same promise. And some promises are worth defending.